Plastic surgery is often seen as a way to reclaim youth and boost confidence. However, for many celebrities, the relentless pursuit of aesthetic perfection has taken unexpected and dramatic turns. In this video, we dive deep into the stories of 15 famous figures whose transformations led to shocking and sometimes heartbreaking outcomes. Jocelyn Wildenstein. The tale of Jocelyn Wildenstein is among the most striking when it comes to plastic surgery and her pursuit of an appearance that aligned with her husband's unconventional preferences. She underwent numerous procedures that drastically altered her face. Jocelyn experienced multiple facelifts, eyelid surgeries, cheekbone implants, lip enhancements, and even jawline reconstruction. Instead of refining her inherent beauty, the combination of these operations resulted in a visage that many found shockingly unrecognizable. Friends and observers began referring to her as Catwoman due to her sharp, elongated features and the unnaturally taut skin that now characterized her look. The issue with Jocelyn's transformation wasn't a single operation gone wrong, but rather the cumulative impact of excessive modifications. Rather than subtle refinements, each surgery introduced further distortion to her appearance. The delicate harmony of her natural expression was lost, leaving behind a face that seemed almost sculpted rather than aging organically. Although she remains unapologetic and even embraces her transformation, her case serves as a stark reminder of how extreme cosmetic alterations can leave a permanent and divisive imprint on one's identity. Priscilla Presley, celebrated for her elegance and timeless beauty, encountered a devastating ordeal when she fell victim to a perilous, unregulated cosmetic procedure. In an attempt to refine her appearance, Priscilla received injections containing industrial-grade silicone, a substance never intended for aesthetic use, administered by an unlicensed individual. These injections led to severe facial disfigurement, rather than the subtle improvements she may have desired. The silicone caused her facial contours to become irregular and uneven. The damage was so extensive that over time, Priscilla had to undergo multiple corrective operations, including facelifts and filler treatments, in efforts to undo the harm. Sadly, these subsequent interventions could not fully restore her original features. Her ordeal has since served as a stark warning about the risks of seeking rapid enhancements through unregulated medical procedures. It exemplifies how drastic measures to change one's appearance can have unintended consequences, resulting in irreversible changes that compromise natural beauty and inflict lasting emotional and physical suffering. Simon Cowell, renowned for his sharp-tongued critiques on talent competitions, also became a subject of discussion regarding cosmetic enhancements. In an effort to preserve a youthful look in an industry that prioritizes a refreshed appearance, Simon underwent multiple procedures, including the use of facial fillers. The transformation was so pronounced that many observed he appeared almost unrecognizable compared to his earlier, more rugged look. Although initially intended to restore his features, the outcome was a visage that looked noticeably altered. Acknowledging that the changes might have been too extreme, Simon ultimately opted to dissolve some of the fillers, striving for a balance between maintaining his appearance and retaining his natural charm. His experience serves as a compelling illustration of the risks tied to cosmetic interventions, even for someone whose success is anchored in a distinct and recognizable presence. Simon's story underscores the importance of a measured approach to aesthetic procedures, where subtle refinements often yield more satisfying long-term results than dramatic alterations. Amanda Lepore's evolution is arguably one of the most extreme cases of transformation through cosmetic surgery. Inspired by the allure of classic Hollywood glamour, she embarked on an extensive surgical journey from a remarkably young age. Her procedures encompassed multiple breast augmentations, rib removal, rhinoplasty, dermal fillers, and cheek implants. The goal was to sculpt an appearance that transcended the ordinary, a living masterpiece embodying the extravagance and theatricality of her muses. Over the years, Amanda's features took on an almost surreal quality, with exaggerated proportions that bordered on the fantastical. What initially began as an attempt to mirror timeless beauty ideals gradually morphed into a bold reinvention of her entire aesthetic. The accumulation of surgical enhancements gave her a look that was both mesmerizing and instantly recognizable. Yet it also blurred the boundary between artistic vision and physical modification. Amanda Lepore's story is a testament to fearless self-expression and the pursuit of individuality, but it also underscores the potential risks when cosmetic surgery is utilized not merely for refinement but as a means of complete reinvention. Linda Evangelista, once a leading supermodel and an icon of haute couture, turned to cosmetic treatments in an effort to preserve her legendary appearance. She chose cool sculpting, a non-surgical fat reduction procedure designed to target persistent fat deposits. However, instead of achieving the desired refinement, she experienced a rare and distressing complication known as paradoxical adipose hyperplasia (PH.) in fewer than 1% of cases. Rather than diminishing, the treated areas expand, becoming firm, swollen, and uneven. For Linda, these unintended effects meant that her once sleek and sculpted silhouette was replaced with hardened, irregular formations. The consequences were not only physically disheartening, but also emotionally overwhelming, as her altered appearance no longer aligned with the image she had cultivated throughout her career. Despite candidly addressing her struggles in interviews and on social media, her ordeal served as a sobering reminder that even non-invasive treatments carry inherent risks. Her experience highlights the unpredictable nature of cosmetic enhancements, even for someone whose beauty has graced the covers of countless fashion magazines. Meg Ryan was widely adored as the endearing, down-to-earth actress whose on-screen presence radiated warmth and likability. However, like many in the entertainment industry, she faced the pressure to maintain a youthful appearance. Meg chose to undergo various procedures, including dermal fillers, facelifts, and anti-aging treatments, in an effort to preserve her fresh look. Unfortunately, these enhancements had a cumulative impact that significantly altered her natural features. The most noticeable changes appeared in her cheeks and forehead, where excessive fillers created a swollen, exaggerated look, and an unnaturally smooth forehead concealed her once expressive lines. Admirers who had long cherished her girl-next-door appeal were shocked by the transformation. The soft, inviting essence of her face was replaced with an almost artificial, sculpted appearance. Meg Ryan's journey underscores how the unrelenting quest for eternal youth can sometimes strip away the very traits that once made someone distinctive and beloved. It serves as a poignant reminder that natural aging carries a unique beauty that no cosmetic procedure can truly replicate. Tara Reid's rise in Hollywood was once characterized by her lively charisma and a distinctive appearance that set her apart in a fiercely competitive industry. However, her choice to undergo cosmetic procedures dramatically shifted her narrative. Tara's surgeries, which included breast augmentation and liposuction, were intended to enhance her curves and overall physique. Instead, the results fell short of expectations. Her breast augmentation did not harmonize with her natural proportions, resulting in an imbalanced and asymmetrical look, while the liposuction left her skin with a rippled, uneven texture. These unintended consequences not only changed her physical appearance, but also impacted her confidence and the way she was perceived by the public. Tara's experience underscores the risks associated with surgical enhancements that promise perfection, yet may yield outcomes that are challenging to correct. The complications from her procedures became a topic of widespread discussion, eclipsing the talent and charm she once effortlessly displayed on screen. Her story serves as a cautionary tale, highlighting how the pursuit of an idealized image can sometimes come at the cost of authenticity, a compromise that not every star is prepared to accept. Donatella Versace has long been a pioneer in the realm of high fashion, and her approach to cosmetic procedures has mirrored that same fearless attitude. Over time, she has frequently resorted to treatments such as Botox, dermal fillers, and laser resurfacing to preserve a youthful appearance. However, these interventions have, at times, led to a look that appears significantly altered from her original features. Reports indicate that her skin, once naturally smooth, took on an unnatural sheen, while her lips and cheeks became excessively volumized. The continual use of cosmetic enhancements resulted in an appearance that many have described as exaggerated, drifting far from the understated elegance of her earlier years. Observers have pointed out that her face now exhibits clear signs of extensive modifications. Although she remains an influential force in the fashion industry, her transformation stands as a cautionary example. Donatella's evolution highlights the danger of excessive cosmetic procedures, where the boundary between refinement and overindulgence can become unsettlingly indistinct. Heidi Montag's journey with plastic surgery remains one of the most startling and cautionary tales in recent memory. At just 23 years old, she made headlines by undergoing an astonishing 10 cosmetic procedures in a single day. These surgeries included a brow lift, rhinoplasty, chin reduction, breast enlargement, and liposuction on her midsection, thighs, and even her buttocks. The sheer magnitude of this transformation was virtually unheard of in the public sphere. The immediate aftermath of this drastic overhaul was nothing short of devastating. Heidi endured excruciating physical pain alongside an emotional burden that quickly became overwhelming. The rapid succession of modifications not only resulted in a dramatically different look, but also forced her to face the stark realization that she had made a life-altering decision without allowing herself adequate time to fully grasp the implications. In the years that followed, she openly admitted that the experience was far more intense than she had anticipated. Heidi's story serves as a powerful cautionary example, demonstrating that diving head first into excessive cosmetic enhancements can bring deep regret, both physically and emotionally, and reinforcing the notion that sometimes restraint is the wiser choice. Joan Rivers. The legendary comedian and television icon, Joan Rivers, was just as well known for her razor-sharp humor as she was for her deep fascination with cosmetic surgery. Over the years, she underwent an array of procedures, including facelifts, neck lifts, eyelid enhancements, and a steady regimen of Botox and filler treatments. While she frequently made light of her surgical transformations, using comedy as a shield against criticism, the reality was that each operation gradually altered the natural features that once defined her animated personality. As her face became progressively taut and wrinkle-free, the expressive lines that conveyed her signature wit and warmth started to fade. The very qualities that made her feel relatable and charming were replaced by an appearance that some viewed as overly manufactured. Despite her openness in discussing both the triumphs and regrets of her aesthetic journey, Joan Rivers' story serves as a striking reminder of how the relentless quest for youth can sometimes lead to an excessive transformation. Her legacy remains a combination of comedic brilliance and the poignant reality of a career shaped in part by the consequences of extreme cosmetic enhancements. Laura Flynn Boyle, once revered for her distinctively sharp and well-defined features, experienced a dramatic transformation in her appearance over the years, as her career advanced. Speculation about her undergoing numerous cosmetic procedures began to spread. Though she never openly confirmed each procedure, observations from fans and specialists suggest she had fillers, rhinoplasty, facelifts, and even brow lifts. These modifications gradually reshaped her once slender and angular features into a rounder, fuller look. The change was not merely about altering her appearance, it fundamentally impacted the essence of her on-screen presence. In her early years, her face possessed a delicate harmony between sharpness and softness, but the surgical interventions disrupted that balance, resulting in a look many perceived as overly refined and less natural. Laura's experience underscores how a series of seemingly minor tweaks can collectively lead to a drastic transformation, rather than suddenly enhancing her natural beauty. The outcome was an unintended departure from the signature appearance that made her famous. Her story stands as both a cautionary tale about the risks of excessive cosmetic alterations and a lesson in the fine balance of aesthetic enhancement.